This is my review of Jojo's Bizarre Adventure. Okay, so Polnareff is a bit upset about the fact that Avdol died, which should be obvious because it is Avdol and they were close friends up to a point. But anyway, Polnareff is not alright because not only did his sister die years prior, but now his friend Avdol on top of that is starting to get to him. So he's starting to make some irrational decisions, and while Kakyoin almost succeeds in talking him down, Centerfold through his stance begins to goad Polnareff into attacking his stand, and he succeeds. Polnareff destroys the reflective surface that Centerfold's stand Hangman is hanging out in, which enables Hangman to get more angles and therefore sneak up on Polnareff and attack him. But before he could do that, Kakyoin shows up. Kakyoin grabs a nearby truck, scoops up Polnareff inside of it, and the two make their escape. However, they are unaware of the fact that Centerfold's Hanged Man is now chasing after them via reflective surfaces. So while in the car, they begin to Polnareff begins to realize just what kind of mistake he's been having, and apologizes for being such a huge jerk and going off on his own to fight Stan that he obviously realizes he was going to lose against, but decided to go against it just for the sake of revenge and not really caring about the consequences of what happened if he died. At which point Kakyoin applauds Polnareff's newfound humility by elbowing him in the face for being an idiot, which is about what I expected Kakyoin to do at that point. At which point Kakyoin starts to deduce how Hangman actually works, because while Polnareff is convinced that there's an alternate world inside mirrors, Kakyoin quickly deduces that that's just not how mirrors work. And if you don't know how a mirror works, well, I don't know what to tell you. But after realizing that there's got to be something more to how Hangman is able to travel between mirrors, he begins to deduce how it is they can actually defeat Hanged Man. Also, but having said that, and after the fact that Polnareff chucked the rearview window out the rearview mirror out the window, I can't speak. Hangman is still able to get in the car since he followed them and has been clinging to reflective surfaces, as I said, and is able to reflect himself in the chrome plating on the steering wheel, and is able to sneak up behind them and cause the car to flip over. But they quickly realize that he can. But it's revealed that Hangman is actually a light-based stand in this sequence, and Polnareff finally figures out how to defeat Hanged Man, and realizes that the best way to deal with Hanged Man is to get as far away from any reflective surface as possible. But this doesn't work. So as Polnareff and Kakyoin are getting rid of any reflective surfaces in an attempt to trap Hangman in the car, they're quickly approached by a passing young boy, and it's revealed that Hangman can actually reflect himself inside of people's eyes. And despite Polnareff's pleading, the boy doesn't seem to fully understand what's going on. But then Polnareff, revealing that he has indeed grown, states his mission and what he's trying to do, which we already know up to this point, and then kicks in the kid's eye, which causes him to have to close his eye, which means that Hangman is now trapped within Polnareff's eye, which means that now Polnareff is able to actually fight Hanged Man, and is able to actually inflict a wound on Hanged Man, and then finds out that there is indeed somebody nearby who might be the controller of Hanged Man. So he checks it out, but gets the guy wrong, because we know what Centerfold looks like at this point, but Kakyoin and Polnareff don't. and is attacked from behind by Centerfold. So Centerfold then gloats about how effortlessly he was able to kill both Avdol and Polnareff's sister, and then does something a little bit seedy to be able to finally defeat his weakness. So he tells all of the nearby beggars in the area that Polnareff and Kakyoin will give them money if they, and that pretty much just enables him to have a huge array of reflective surfaces relatively close by to Polnareff and Kakyoin. And while they think that they're finally going to bite the dust because of Centerfold, Kakyoin actually does something smart. He realizes that Centerfold's stand is working by reflections, as we've established, and uses it, and then pulls out a shiny coin, and uses that shiny coin to draw everybody's attention by chucking it into the air. At which point Polnareff finally realizes what Kakyoin's plan is, and kicks dirt into the face of the man who happens to have Hanged Man in his eye, which causes Hanged Man to have to reflect to the coin, which enables Kakyoin to destroy the stand, and then attacks and finishes off Centerfold once and for all, thereby ending his reign of terror and finally giving Polnareff some much needed closure. However, they're soon approached by Whole Horse, who doesn't realize that Centerfold is dead, and upon realizing this, tries to turn tail and hide. However, Jotaro and Joseph, who have been nearby this entire time, have actually been trying to catch up to the rest of the group for a while now, actually come out of a nearby alley after having attended the short funeral for Avdol, and punches Whole Horse in the face. And as the group contemplates what to do with him, at which point Polnareff suggests killing him, because he was kind of the cause of death to begin with, because he shot Avdol right in the forehead. Polnareff is suddenly fly tackled by Whole Horse's lover, who was kind of a minor character in the last episode and more so in this one, but she just kind of comes out of nowhere, grabs him, and enables Whole Horse to get away. And even though Polnareff tries to chase after him, with the woman now latching onto his leg, he doesn't succeed in much more than scraping her elbow. And at which point Joseph patches her up, and in the process a drop of blood lands on his arm. That's important. And says that they need to keep going even though Avdol is dead. So they continue to head toward Egypt, unaware that a strange wart that is apparently sentient has started to grow on Joseph's arm. And it's revealed in the final moments of the episode that this woman is apparently a stand user. What the stand actually is and what it does, it's unknown, but considering it came from her blood and then attached itself to Joseph's arm, I'm assuming it's like some sort of parasite type thing where will continually grow on his arm until it's strong enough to gain sentience, and then will cause him some problems, which we do see in the preview for the next episode. It seems to be doing exactly that. So yeah, I don't know what this woman's name is, and I don't even know if this is what she actually looks like, because she doesn't really look like the kind of person who would cause ill will on anybody, so I'll refrain from giving her a picture here yet. But it's clear that she is a stand user and is potentially very dangerous. It is entirely possible that she is taking an unassuming form to just try and appear herself. I don't know what her name is, so I'm not going to picture her, but it's clear that she is going to be an adversary for the next episode. But yeah, this episode was about Polnareff getting some much needed closure while also deducing how certain stands work, because it's become apparent that certain stands require a certain medium to be able to function, something that we haven't really seen in the series yet, and probably will see more of going forward. But it was definitely an interesting concept about how Hanged Man isn't actually traveling through mirrors. He's a light-based stand that bounces between them, and that's kind of cool. But yeah, but yeah, I would like to see that. They're probably gonna expand on stuff like this earlier in the episode, earlier on. So, and it's clear that there's going to be more mediums because, as I said, the girl's blood attached this landed on Joseph's arm and is now growing where the blood landed. So it's clear that that there are indeed going to be more medium-based stands. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, if you guys have indeed enjoyed this episode of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure and my subsequent review of it, then what do you guys think? Let's get a discussion going in the comment section down below, or over on my Discord server, link in the description. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace!